Can you jump off 2 feet no problem, but when you jump off of 1 foot, it literally feels like you have bricks attached to your feet? Let's talk about how to fix this. What's up, guys? I'm Chris from Against Odds Athletics, and I have a 46.5-inch standing vertical, a 50-inch max vertical off 2 feet, and a 48.5-inch max vertical off 1 foot, which is what I'll be teaching you today. Now, before we begin, I want to give you 2 free single leg jump breakdowns I did for some of my athletes. I'm drawing over the video, talking while the video plays, so you guys can get an awesome real feel and a real visual of some of the techniques that I'm going to go over today. It's absolutely free, and you can get it by clicking the link in the description or by visiting againsoddsathletics.com/1footbreakdown. All right, if you're having trouble jumping off of 1 foot, there's 2 things we need to pay extra attention to: force production and technique. First, let's go over force production. I'm going to simplify this real quick. Do you remember doing a Bulgarian split squat for the first time, or any single leg exercise? Do you remember how unstable you were? Do you remember bench pressing dumbbells for the first time and the dumbbells probably weren't going in a straight line, they were probably going all over the place? That was because you weren't steady. Now, let's bring it back to single leg jumps. If you're struggling to jump off of 1 foot, your body might not be used to producing force off of 1 leg. If so, you're going to be so off balance and so uncoordinated that you can't possibly produce as much force as you can in the right direction because you're spending so much of your muscle power trying to stabilize. Your muscles act and contract in unison, and right now they probably aren't coordinated yet. But the good thing is that they coordinate pretty fast, just like how the dumbbells on your chest press started going in the straight line quickly. Now, how do we coordinate our single leg jump? Through repetition. You're going to be pretty bad for a little bit, and that's okay. But over time, you're going to suck less and less to the point where you're actually pretty good. In addition to muscle coordination and neuromuscular adaptations is pure muscle power output. Think about it. Let's say you weigh 150 pounds. You're trying to propel 150 pounds in the air with only 1 leg, only 1 engine instead of 2. You need to increase the horsepower of your leg. How? Perform more 1 foot specific exercises in your training regimen. Some of my favorites are Bulgarian split squats or rear foot elevated split squats, and the single leg hack squat. You should also perform more plyometric movements off of 1 leg, such as single leg box jumps and single leg depth jumps. Aim for increasing your power over time and increasing the height of those jumps. Now, let's talk about jump technique as it pertains to single leg jumping. The most common error I see in my clients' jump form is that their block foot leg is leaking too much energy. Let me show you what I mean. We have our block foot leg right here on our single leg jump. Let's say I'm jumping off of my left leg. When I hit the ground, this knee bend should be minimal, and we should be able to hold this and then produce the force in a quick amount of time. But what ends up happening is we hit the ground, and then our body takes too much time to recognize, okay, now we need to produce force. So now this is leaking energy. That knee angle is getting deeper. And then it turns into like a squat. We're not, on a single leg jump, we're not muscling our way through it. We're kind of using this foot through a very small range of motion of the knee joint in order to produce power. So if you look at it from the front, it should literally look on that stick like this is literally stuck in the ground. As my momentum comes, boom, straight up, very minimal knee bend. Here, what ends up happening, they end up producing that power forward, which leads to a jump that isn't going to be high, but is going to take off at an outward angle. The second biggest mistake I see people making is that their center of mass isn't behind their block foot, where their force is being produced. We're coming in with horizontal momentum, so we need to produce force before the center of mass breaks the plane of where we are producing that force. Again, let me show you what I mean. Tying into that first technique, our block foot is ahead of our center of mass. Our center of mass, that's why the chest is back, everything is back. Most of my mass is right here, and we're using that block foot as a kickstand in order to propel us vertical. But what ends up happening is if we're leaking too much energy, our center of mass is traveling forward because of our horizontal momentum. If we start to produce force only when our block foot is under our center of mass, we have no brake. We have no brake, so it's gonna shoot us forward, right? So we need to produce that force with our center of mass behind that block foot so that we propel ourselves upward. Just like if we see 2 people go up for a rebound or 1 person blocking a dunk and they hit each other in midair, they shoot Straight up, same exact reason. We come in, power this way, it sends them straight up. We want to go vertical and not outwards. Last thing, before you go, remember to grab your 2 free 1-foot jump breakdowns I did for some of my athletes. It's super useful, quick to absorb, and something you could instantly benefit from in less than like 8 minutes. It's absolutely free, and you can get it by clicking the first link in the description or by visiting againsoddsathletics.com/1-foot-breakdown. All right, guys, thanks for sticking to the end. I'm Chris from Against Odds Athletics, and comment below if you're going to take action to build up your single leg vertical jump. See you guys in the next one.